If Democrats are successful in removing the president from office, it will cause a civil war.
About to push this country to a civil war.
Words like treason, coup, and warning of a civil war.
Talks about there will be a civil war.
Personally, I think it could turn into a civil war.
And essentially advocate for civil war.
And then calling for civil war.
Civil war.
Civil war? A civil war in 2019?
Civil war.
The Second Civil War was fought in dozens of places, from the streets of Portland and the hipster flop houses of Bushwick to a Denny's parking lot in Maricopa County, and countless Reddit threads and online forums. A trivial percentage of the population fought in it, but nearly all who did were owned beyond recognition, canceled, doxxed, shadow banned, or treated at the scene for minor injuries. Over 2 days in Madison, on the banks of Lake Monona, more silly string was fired than in all previous American conflicts combined. In Alexandria, journalists outnumbered the so-called combatants for the first time in the history of war. Large boys who had never strayed 20 miles from their parents' camper vans or hippie communes found themselves marching in the ranks of self-described armies, donning plastic shields and football helmets, chanting incoherent slogans, twerking. They went by many names: Proud Boys, Anti-Fascists, Fail Sons, Extinction Mongers, Climate Children, Tree Huggers, Pickup Artists, Beard Freaks, Chapo Scum, Fratty Douche Nozzles, Incel Race Warriors, Dough-faced Nerd Virgins. They thought they were making history, and for many, it was the greatest adventure of their pathetic lives. The war made some rich and ruined others. For some who risked everything in service to their cause, legendary status was within reach. A British-Hungarian immigrant, Gorka, a failure in everything except facial hair and physical stature, would go on to record the longest unscripted podcast episode the world has ever known. An improbable quartet of rookie politicians, the Squad, united only by their hatred of Jews, who during the conflict would rack up more Instagram likes than every member of the Kardashian family combined. Between May and July 2020, Americans went about their daily lives as a handful of their fellow citizens made war at each other and savaged themselves with milkshakes and wooden swords. What began as a bitter dispute over constitutional memes and terms of service would end as a struggle over the meaning of futility in America. On July 4th at Martha's Vineyard, the late Jim Acosta said perhaps more than he knew. The war was about nothing in particular, a war without heroes on either side, but not without heroes in the press. Those brave souls who ran headlong into the muck, wielding notebooks, microphones, auxiliary cables, imbued with a noble truth: the pen is mightier.
Cleavage. If I had to pick one word to describe the conflict, cleavage would be the word. Societal cleavage on an unimaginable scale, the kind that rips consenting relationships and non-monogamous couples apart at the seams.
Let me ask you about President Donald Trump. Do you believe he bears any personal responsibility?
Personal responsibility? Do you blame Abraham Lincoln for Civil War I? Because in Civil War II, Donald Trump is what kept this nation together. He saved this country, just like Lincoln saved us the first time around. Now, you want to continue with this documentary and asking me bullshit questions like this? This is fake news. This journalism, this documentary that you're producing is garbage, son. It's garbage. Donald Trump saved this country.
Can we proceed?
No, we ain't gonna proceed. This whole thing is over. This is a joke. I'm sick and tired of these shenanigans of the fake news media. You guys have been destroying this country for years, and we're holding it together. I'm out of here. You're fake news, son. You're fake news. Get your life together, or you're going down.